think a big reason why people say maybe 1v1 is not real basketball is because it is not a profession. There's nothing out there that is solely 1v1 basketball where people can go and make a living, and you see the progression and you see records. Like before UFC, MMA was not a real sport. It was just boxing. Boxing was the only combat sport. Then the UFC came around. They made it popular. They made it professional. People got records. People got paid. The NBA is the only 5v5 professional where, you know, you get paid like that and it's as popular as it is. But 1v1 basketball, there's nothing out there like that that's professional, that's sanctioned. And right now we're obviously working on something. But I think once that happens, then we talk about a serious conversation where 1v1 basketball is real basketball.
Yo, what is up, guys? I'm back at it like a bad habit, and today we're going to tackle on a controversial topic right now in the basketball world. In an Austin Reeves interview, he said that he tried to take on LeBron James one-on-one, and LeBron said it's not actual basketball, which is actually very interesting. LeBron said it's not. LeBron leads the entire NBA history in scoring right now. He is an active player in the NBA. And he leads the league's history in scoring. But he's always been known as being one of the greatest all-around players that the game has ever seen. Let's take a deep dive into that, shall we? Now, I will say this for LeBron. I understand where he's coming from because there's one thing that 1v1 doesn't measure, and that's passing. And guess what? LeBron James is one of the greatest passers in the NBA history.
Great block inside by Sean Williams. What a pass by James to Dampier! Oh, wow!
How about that? LeBron knew exactly where his teammate was. He made the steal and the pass all in one.
So it's kind of coincidental, but I understand where he's coming from that point. Now, according to Dr. 𝗟𝗪, I will defend my 1v1 diehard fans out there. The main reason why we play basketball is to put the ball inside the basket against the defense. That is the main objective of basketball. That's what it's intended to do. Put the ball inside the hoop. Pretty simple.
LeBron sees a crowd, turns the corner, and just bullets in a powerful tomahawk slam jam. Oh, LeBron James, the bench, even more excited than anybody in the building right now.
So let's look at both sides of the argument, right? Let's look at 1v1 and let's look at 5v5. We're going to start off with 5v5 because that's what Dr. Naismith intended it to be in an organized setting. So let's go. 5v5 basketball is marketable. You see it everywhere and it is televised. That is one of the most important keys in this argument. We see it in middle school, we see it in high school, we see it in college, and we see it in the pros. As a basketball player, the ultimate goal to reach, the highest level to reach, is playing professional basketball.
Up within, I'd say, a minute at the very most. Might get one up right here. There it is. From the pass, behind the back, from LeBron, and the three by Dalton.
With that marketability from a professional player perspective, you can get a lot of exposure. Your following can go up on social media. You can get contract extensions if you perform very well on television. I mean, there's deals waiting for you when you perform well in a 5v5 setting. You also have accessibility as a basketball player. You can get scouting reports. You have different type of coaches at your disposal. You have the main coach, you have a shooting coach, you have a dribbling coach, you have a defensive coach. Oh wait, that's football. But still, you have a strength and conditioning coach. All of these things you have at your disposal. You can also look at the strengths and weaknesses of the other team.
Rebound taken by 𝗟𝗪𝗧. 𝗟𝗪𝗧 to Curry, back to 𝗟𝗪𝗧, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James.
What I'm trying to emphasize with this point is that you have all of that at your fingertips to make you the best basketball player you can be in an organized setting. Now, let's say you're a really good defender, but you're a poor shooter. Well, you're in for great news because teams also draft specialists. Sometimes teams look for those type of specialists that are a good fit for their team or could be the missing piece that they need in order to reach that next level. That's why specialists are still a key role in team sports, because they're there to nullify what the other team is intending to do.
Foul. Should Miami go for the three right away? Just attack the basket. James catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang!
Now, there are special outliers in basketball, like a Draymond Green, who's really considered a Swiss Army knife. And what that is in basketball is they're not really great in one aspect, but they can do a lot of things. Like Draymond, not really a great shooter, but can shoot the ball when asked. Not the greatest passer, but can pass the ball and be a facilitator when the team needs him to be. Those guys are the heart and soul of each basketball team. Limited minutes could be a reason why a player wants to leave an organization. It's because they feel like they can contribute at a bigger role, but they don't get the opportunity, and that's what makes them upset. Also, there's limitations with 5v5 basketball. You can't control all parts of the organization. For example, let's say you guys are losing, you're down 2, and you need a 3 to win the game, and you feel like you can expose one of the players with the matchup that they're giving you, but the coach wants to run a play that you really don't like. Well, you can't really argue with them, because if you argue with them, then they're going to see you as a headache in the organization, and they could just trade you for no reason. They could trade you anytime because of that specific moment. So you have to really be careful as a professional player in a 5v5 setting. You have to be careful what you say, what you do, what you act, because you could get fined, suspended, or just kicked out the league. So you really have to be on your P's and Q's when you're a professional player. And I'm gonna give you guys a final example of why 5v5 can be limiting sometimes. So let's say you get double teamed, the defense is unbelievable and it's overwhelming you. You kick it out to Johnny in the corner, who's not the greatest three-point shooter, and he ruins the game because he missed the shot. Now that could not be the reason why he missed the shot. There could be other reasons that I mentioned earlier, but that's the reason why you lose. I'm gonna get frustrated if I was in that situation, for sure. And I know you would get frustrated, because you would be like, bro, all you needed to do was just hit that one shot. So there's a lot of limitations in 5v5 basketball that you may not realize that I just mentioned. So that's what you have to keep in mind when you're in those type of situations. Now let's look at the positives of 1v1 basketball. Well, first, it's still marketable. You can still get a lot of exposure of social media if you're really good. And teams use 1v1 basketball to work on footwork, dribbling, defense, and shooting. So you still have all those aspects of a 5v5 setting, but you're using it against one defender or one opponent. You also control the game. Now, you don't have to worry about a coach trying to develop a play for the last second shot, and you don't have to worry about the superstar player yelling at your ear because you didn't pass the ball to them, like, okay, buddy, calm down. No, you control the pace at how you want to play, and also you can control how you want to attack your opponent. The only limitation that you have when playing 1v1 basketball is your creativity. To add the marketability, there are 1v1 leagues being developed as we speak. For example, 𝗟𝗏𝗧'𝗦 and Scotty hosting the next chapter, which has a mixture of high school, collegiate, international, and professional players playing in those type of environments to get their name out there. Now, it's not necessarily professional yet, but they are playing high-level basketball with a mixture of those type of players participating.
She did at the top.
A 3 wins the series. It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good! Good! And the Blazers!
Now, what I did notice is that the next chapter does host tryouts for those type of players that want to play basketball at a high level. Now, this is very important for them because maybe some of them lack the marketability, and this would be a great avenue for them to use in order for them to get into the pros in 5v5s or play in a 1v1 setting. Even Tracy McGrady has his own 1v1 league, and he got that inspiration from YouTube hoopers hooping at a 5v5 setting at a park. He noticed the audience was going crazy and yelling and just going all out fanboy for these players. So he decided to use that as inspiration for these 1v1 leagues to give other aspiring basketball influencers exposure, marketability, like I've mentioned earlier. Now, there are developments for 1v1, but what they're really struggling is just trying to give it more exposure, and that's why it's not as successful as a 5v5 setting. I look at it like this, right? It's like graduating from college, and it's either you want to start a business or you want to work for an established company. Because once you start a business, you're relying on yourself to make advancements. When you're with an established company, you have all the accessibility, all the tools. It's right there for you because everything's been paid through the company, and you don't have to worry much other than working your way up the ranks. That's how I look at this argument right now. The exposure isn't there yet for 1v1 basketball. Think about it, guys. The Olympics doesn't have a 1v1 competition. Countries don't pick their best player that can defend and score against other countries because we just don't have that yet. And when we discuss who the best player in the world is, we discuss a lot of different factors. We discuss, can you pass the ball? Can you shoot? Can you defend? Can you make your teammates better? There's a lot of tangibles and intangibles that we don't even think about when it comes to determining who the best player is when we have barbershop talks, right? I also wanted to mention this point. Highly ranked basketball players that play in a 5v5 setting have a lot of avenues to go to. They have OTE. They have post-grad academies they could go into if they don't want to go to college. They have college. They could play overseas. They have all of these options ready for them coming out of graduation. You don't hear a highly ranked basketball player coming out of high school say, oh, I just want to join Ball is Life and participate in this 1v1 league for $50,000. Now, 1v1s can give them the opportunity to get that exposure, but not everything is guaranteed. That's why with these options that they have, they can go make their decisions based on the options that they've made. They can't do that with 1v1. 1v1, they're relying on themselves. They're not relying on the system to get where they want to be. That's why it's hard for 1v1 players to get their names out there, because you really have to be good at scoring and defending. Now, some people are good in both leagues, and some people are only good in one league. It all depends on the player. Now, I really want to understand how you guys feel about it. Let me know in the comment section. But I wanted to give you guys my opinion how I feel about it. Y'all can roast me like LeBron on Instagram saying I have no bag, but I rather prefer 5v5 basketball. I don't think 1v1 basketball is real just because it doesn't measure all facets of your game. Now, if you asked me to play 1v1 basketball, I wouldn't mind because it does make me improve on late game situations and learning how to create for myself and learning how to exploit matchups. You still are learning how to exploit matchups when you're playing 1v1 basketball. It just doesn't happen with 5v5. It also happens with 1v1. Now, that's how I feel. You guys can kill me in the comment sections. I don't care. I just want to know how y'all feel about it. And speaking of 1v1, I actually did go up against a college basketball player in a game of horse. And y'all gotta figure out who won. So you can click on this video right here, and I'll see y'all on the other side.